Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits, and welcome to my FlossTube. I am going to be trying to make this a quick one. I don't know if you can tell, but I have a stye in my eye. I'm recording this on Monday, the day I'm supposed to be releasing it. I didn't want to miss a week, so I'm going to try and power through, so bear with me. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing that I want to share is the finished piece that you'll see on the thumbnail. I really enjoyed working on this. This piece is called Post-Apocalypse Fantasy. It's by Flossie Fox Shop. It's super cute. I do enjoy working on a piece that is just cross stitch. There's no back stitch, there's no fractional stitches. It's just making lots of little X's. And this was definitely one of those pieces for me. I did it on a really big piece of fabric for my usual. This isn't that crazy. I know for a lot of stitches they like to have a really wide border, but I saw this piece of fabric in my stash and I was like, it's perfect. It matches the vibe really well. I think I chose the cozy color theme because this pattern has 3 color swatches that you could choose from, and it was sort of that kind of dreary rundown kind of colors, which I thought was really good. It's cute. Of course it's got a little fox because it has to. It's a Flossie Fox Shop pattern. It's got to have a fox. I figured out that this little thing here, this little purple thing is a spider, because that's a spider web there, which is probably hard to see because of the fabric color that I've stitched on, but it's like a yellowy white spider web, and so that's a little spider hanging down below it. I realized after I'd stitched it that that's what that was. But isn't it cute? Oh, isn't it cute? So that's my finished piece for this week. I finished that yesterday. I didn't think I was gonna have it as a finish for this FlossTube, but then this happened and I was really uninspired to record my FlossTube, so whatever. We're here now, aren't we? That's what's important. I don't know what I'll do with that piece, but for now it'll get put with all my other finishes that have been rolled up nicely, and it'll just hang out in there with those. What should we talk about next? I'm gonna leave that till later. Let's talk about works in progress. I cannot find one of my works in progress. I'm really bummed about it. I don't know. I actually, before I started recording, I went to my car to look for it because I was certain it was in there. It's not. I don't know where it's gone. I think maybe I left it at my daughter's friend's house. I don't know, maybe I should message her and just ask, because I'm really confused. I don't know where it's gone. Actually, I have an inkling now, but I need to find the bag. But that's progress. Okay, filing that away. Anyway, works in progress. I've got quite a bit. So the piece that I can't find is an old piece called The Secret Grove, sorry, by Needle Lot Designs. It's finished stitch along. It was living in my car for ages, and the reason I started working on it is because of the piece I'm about to show you and the story behind it. So this piece is Extraordinary Birds by Lola Crow Cross Stitch. The reason those 2 stitch alongs are intertwined in my timeline is because I took this with me to my daughter's playdate and I put it in my bag, my tote bag, along with some other stuff, including my travel mug of this caffeine drink that I drink called Early Bird. I call it my coffee because I don't like coffee, I don't like tea, and my alternative is to drink Red Bull, basically. No, I don't want to do that. So this stuff that's called Early Bird, it's just like a powder that you mix in water. Anyway, I had that in a travel mug and I didn't close the lid properly. So, as you can probably imagine, chaos ensued. We got to the playground and I picked up my bag and it started dripping. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I instantly pulled everything out, including this. I assessed the damage. I said to my daughter and her friend, because I took her friend with us to the playground too, they were meeting up with like 5 of their friends. So I had 2 girls in the car. I'm like, look, be safe. I'm right here. You can see me from the playground. Go start playing. Don't wait for me. So I'm like assessing the damage to everything in my bag, and the printed patterns that I had of this were destroyed. And unfortunately, because I had printed patterns of it, the ink from those patterns bled onto this. And I was just like, oh no! So I quickly ran it, the tote bag, the project bag, and the little like, where is one? This little thing. My little Orts bag to the public bathroom and just rinsed everything with cold water to try and get as much stuff, much drink out of it as I could, and ink. Unfortunately, the ink wouldn't come out, but don't stress. This has a happy ending, this story. Anyway, I laid everything out on the dashboard of my car because I didn't really know what to do with it. And I'm like, well, I'm stuck here. And that's why I started working on the Secret Grove, because it was in my car and I didn't have a work in progress that I could work on because this was covered in water. Yeah. So anyway, I brought this back home. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? So I put some spot remover on it, which is this stuff that's been recommended to me by a friend, someone, I'm not sure who. Put some spot remover on it and ran it through a cold Delicates wash in a Delicates bag through the washing machine, fingers crossed. It fixed it. It fixed it. This is it. It's not finished, obviously, but this is it now. It's had an ordeal, but it came out okay. I didn't put it in the dryer, of course, because that would be horrible of an idea. I just hung it up to dry. I'm like, I hung it up, and while it was drying, I'm just like, please don't let this be a play of the light. Please make it have fixed it. Anyway, so there was this big ink stain at the peacock's butt. And as you can see, there's no ink stain anymore. I do need to draw my grid back on. And I'm like, if that's the only thing that comes out of this as a negative, I am so fine with that. So that seems to be the only negative that's come out of it. Haven't done that yet because I don't really need to at the moment. I am still working on these birds here, these two here, and this little chick here. And so I know like where you didn't really see that. So 1, 2, 3. So I kind of know where I need to stitch right now. But when I start the next section, I will be gridding this again. Not the whole thing, because obviously I've covered a lot of it, but these empty gaps and I think like all of this part here I'll be able to ignore because I don't think there's anything over here. That's my neighbors bringing their bins up, so apologies. Yeah, so I'll be doing mostly just like this side of the piece to grid it. Anyway, that's my story. It's a crazy story, but it has a happy ending, thank goodness. And that's that work in progress. What should we show next? No, I'll show that one later. Okay, my next work in progress to show you is my next upcoming pattern. It is going to be called 1900s Baby. I'm just moving my needle minder because it's got active floss happening right now. So it reads, please be patient with me. I'm from the 1900s. Yeah. I have a t-shirt that says the same thing, but it's got like, it says like, please be patient with me. And then it has like an old horse and carriage picture in it. And then at the bottom, I'm from the 1900s. I think it's hilarious kind of that we have 26-year-olds now that were born this century. That just boggles my mind. Anyway, so this is my upcoming pattern. It's going to be released next week. And I know that it's not the whole of the 1900s depicted, but I decided to do sort of 90s themed iconography on it. So it's got a VHS, it's got a little CD, it's got a Tamagotchi, it's got an old CRT computer, a controller, and the things you can't see, which have just escaped me. There's a corded phone and a Walkman, which is a tape player, if you don't know what a Walkman is. So I think it's funny. And I decided to do it on this like sparkly fabric, which I realized before I started stitching, I was like, I don't care. But I realized that that's not really going to matter because you can't see the sparkliness in the pictures. But I'll be taking a video, so hopefully it'll come up in that. But yeah, let me know what you think of this pattern that's coming. I think it's amusing. This is my sense of humor though, so. And before you come for me This is the correct way of writing 1900s, okay? There is no apostrophe. That is not grammatically correct. So shush. That's in a tiny little project bag too, so I gotta just shove it in. There we go. Let's do this one. Okay, I deliberately kept this out. This is my Heaven and Earth Designs stitch along. I chose Fairytale, if you haven't watched my FlossTube before. So this is the 2026 stitch along. And I took my photos for like my monthly posts that I have been slacking on. My apologies. But I've been taking a picture of all of the works in progress at the start of each new month. And I kept this out of its Q-snap because I wanted to be able to show you the whole thing. Yeah. Anyway, this is what it's up to. I still haven't finished gridding it, but that's because I'm not up to that part yet. But if you can't see it, that's the bottom of the grid. So like there. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. So there's the bottom. Where? Oh my gosh, no. Okay, there's the bottom of the grid. The bottom of the screen. There's the bottom of the grid and there's the edge. So it's huge. I am 55% of the way through. I have done 13,789 stitches. I haven't done much on this in the last like 2 months, but that is fine with me. This is not a I want to get this done as quick as possible kind of project, in my opinion. This is a I wanted to challenge myself and do something completely out of my norm kind of piece. Oh, and there's the back, if you're curious, which is just so wild. There's a big orange line going through it. Anyway, so yeah, I thought it might be cool to leave that out of the Q-snap so I could show you the whole thing. And now I can get back to stitching it when I want to. What's in here? I know what's in here, but what's in here? This one I've also kept out of its frame because I took a picture of it and I wanted to show you the whole thing. This is my Firefly Sampler, which I've done quite a lot on. Wow, the fabric color comes up amazing on my camera. Yeah, so if you are new, I've been working on like these 2/3 of the piece here because I'm using this to hold it in place because the fabric is really loose and flowy, and so it keeps it nice and taut. You can kind of see the hoop frame is there. But now that I've got it out of there, I'm thinking I might, just to mix things up, once I finish this cut of floss, I'll catch up and do this part, this third, and at least do the 3 characters that are missing up here. But yeah, this one is happening. I am actually considering changing the pattern just slightly because I stitched these little bits up the top here, which is actually words. It's a font that's cross stitch and back stitch, and I do not like how dark it is because this is designed to be stitched on dark fabric. So yeah, that's the problem with releasing a pattern without test stitching it. That kind of thing will come up, and yeah, so I will be figuring out which color from the already existing palette will work best and most likely changing the pattern. But yeah, there is that one. What's this one? No, not that one. Okay, the next one I want to show you is a new work in progress that I've been powering through. It's a stitch along by Needle Lot Designs, and part 1 came out this past week. It's this here, which is called Life at the Cottage. As look at the cute little bumblebee, which hasn't been finished yet. He's still got some white to go, but it's so cute. I didn't finish gridding it, so the bottom of it is there. I wanted to get stitching. I look so awkward right now. But yeah, the colors are adorable. Yeah, like I said, I'm close to finishing the part already. I think she's releasing a new part every 3 weeks, so I'm kind of going to be way ahead. I'm going to look it up actually, because I want to know. Needle Lot Design, Life at the Cottage. Field Guide. Yeah, I've got 3 weeks. And this is one of the biggest parts. There is 2 other parts that are bigger than this first one. So I'm going to be like, if I can keep up this momentum, I'll be on top of this stitch along easy. But I wanted to do bright colors, and it came out just in time for that. So yeah, I thought it was very cute. Well, I think it's very cute, I should say. We'll leave that one till last. This next one is my flower Prairie for 2026. I am a little bit behind. I haven't done yesterday or today, so I'm, yeah, missing a couple of flowers, but that's where we're up to. We did our little sign, which is sat all the way over here, unfortunately, but we've got one flower next to it, thankfully. Yeah, we got lots of wide flowers in the past row. These ones here, these big ones, they're just really wide and they take up a lot of space. That's where we're up to ish, minus 2 days. 2 days, I think? I can't remember. I've got it noted down. I keep track of all of the flower meadow and the flower field. I have spreadsheets for all three of them. So I can work out stats, just because I'm a nerd. Anyway, oh, and I think I've officially decided that I'm going to, for next year, combine my favorite 20 flowers and figure out my favorite palette from all three of them and create like a Frankenstein kind of pattern and do that then. And then I've got 4 of them. But that's ages away. It's only the start of April. Okay, so the next and last work in progress, I think it's the last, check my bag. My last work in progress is from a book that I will show you after. And it's this here. This is called, oh my gosh, hang on. It is called Ancient Tales. And it is from a book that I will show you in a sec, but it's been causing me a lot of counting grief. I have had to unpick and restitch at least 3 times, probably more times, because I just keep stitching in the wrong fucking spot. And I don't know, it's just one of those projects. I don't know if you get that too. You have a project that just misbehaves constantly. And it's obviously not your fault because you know how to count. But oh my gosh. But it'll be cute. It will be adorable. It's a book, if you can't tell. This is a feather pen kind of thing. This is like a little scroll thingy. And then there's other stuff around it. And there's writing on the book and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll show you. Anyway, so we're going to move on to miscellaneous things. Is that what I called it in my notes? Miscellaneous, no. I put in haul. Let's talk about haul, stuff that I got this week. So the first thing that I want to talk about is a book that I got. And this is by Iris Kleinbussink. She is Needle Lot Designs. She reached out to me a couple of months ago. Gosh, I want to even say like last year, maybe? She reached out to me and she's like, would you like a free copy of my book that's coming out? And I'm like, heck yeah. I've already pre-ordered it, so that's a thing. But I talked to her about that. I'm like, look, would you be fine with me doing a giveaway with the book that I get from my pre-order? She's like, yeah, absolutely. So this one's going to be mine, and that's because I've already marked with post-it notes my patterns that I will want to stitch. And the one that I get when it becomes available to everybody, I'm going to hold a giveaway on Instagram. Yeah, I'll pay for the shipping and obviously the cost of the book, because that's cool with me. I already got it. But yeah, so this I got this in the mail this past week and I completely forgotten about it. When I got a notification that a package was coming, I was like, I'm not expecting anything, what the heck? But yeah, so this is the pattern that I'm stitching. I cover up the colors. That's the pattern that I just showed you. So that's what I'm stitching. And isn't it cute? I obviously won't show you the pattern page because that would be horrible of me. It's got little dragons though, and it's got little, yeah, the little key, and I like the inkwell. Anyway, and the fabric that I found, again, in my stash already was just perfect because it was 18 count, so I wanted it to shrink in size because it's already pretty big in size. Yeah, I'm rambling. Anyway, I got this, so thank you to Iris, and I, yeah, have already bookmarked all the patterns that I really like in it, and we'll hopefully get to stitch at some point in my lifetime. The other thing that I got, I actually received today. I didn't think I'd have them for this FlossTube, and I didn't think to not put them away mostly already. I got some enamel pins and a couple of stickers. I'd still have the stickers, so these are the stickers I got. They're from the company called Strike Gently. So I got these for my laptop, but they are so much bigger than I anticipated. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably still put this one on my laptop, but this one I might put somewhere else. At a minimum, they'll at least go in my sticker book, because I have a sticker book where you can take the stickers out as well and change them around. Anyway, so I got those. And the enamel pins that I got, I've already put on my enamel pin board that I have here. So I do have some enamel pins here. Those are like a set that I've been creating. These are my needle minders, so some of them are enamel pins turned into needle minders. And then I used to have this frame up here with enamel pins, but I've moved it down here. So anyway, I got two freebie ones. So this little guy down here is a freebie, and this little penguin with a knife was a freebie. So that was awesome. And then I got the same kind of little toaster bath, which just makes me laugh. Got this Fine, or It's Fine, I'm Fine Band-Aid, which is purple, which was really cool. I got Sad Songs tape, because I'm a millennial. I got Autism Powers, because it's a play on the Austin Powers logo. And this NSWF one that I thought was really nice. I think that's it. Yeah. The other ones are from previous places that I've gotten pins from. And that just lives down there, which you can actually see slightly. Anyway, so yeah, I got that. I did get some floss too, because floss, it's important for cross stitching. All right, tick, tick, tick. Okay, let's talk about just miscellaneous Two Little Kit stuff. So, you know, stitchy things. The first thing that I want to bring up, and I don't know, I'm not going to talk about it, but just like, was that DMC, the company, liked one of my comments on Instagram, and I'm just like, I was like fangirling like crazy on one of their reels, not on one of mine, unfortunately, but that's okay. So that happened. Oh, I already talked about that thing, the accident at the playground with Extraordinary Birds. So we talked about that. So the last thing that's miscellaneous to talk about is StitchKit. I mentioned StitchKit in my last FlossTube. This is a web app that my husband and I have been working on for a long time, and it is almost at a point where we can get people to come on, create an account, and give it a try. There's a lot of things that are missing still, such as, like, the big one for me is French knots. We still haven't figured out how to do French knots, especially for mobile devices, but we've made a buttload of changes since last FlossTube, especially for the look and feel of the app itself. But I've been doing heaps of testing, and he's been doing heaps of bug fixes. And yeah, so if you are interested in a new, I know there are heaps of cross-stitch apps out there. This one we're hoping will be kind of a one-stop shop, for lack of a better term, because it will have a companion mode where you can either take the pattern that you've made or upload your own pattern, like, you know, any of the ones that I've shown you, into that application and tick off your stitches, kind of like Pattern Keeper sort of style. So you can create patterns and work on patterns as well. I'm excited. I hope you are too. I would really love to hear if you're interested in trying it out. There is a mailing list link in the description below. So please, like, I'll be emailing out very soon invitations for that. We do have a Discord server that we're setting up as well, where there'll be ways for you to give us feedback and submit bugs and things like that. So it's all free right now. Yeah. I could keep talking about it for ages. Yeah. It'll be good. I'm excited. The latest thing we've been working on is the exporting for PDFs, because that's obviously a big deal for people like me who create and sell patterns. But it's exciting. I'm excited. I hope you're excited to check out the link to sign up for the mailing list, because that's the first point point of contact that will be sent out to get people to give it a try. Anyway, I'm rambling. So that is that. The last stitchy thing that I want to talk about is the latest pattern that I released, which is this one here. This is called Undiagnosed Butt, and I released this past fortnight. There is something else that I want to talk about that's stitchy related, but anyway. So the 2nd of April was Autism Awareness Day. A couple of years ago, I told myself I want to make a pattern that's either focused on autism or focused on like neurodiversity for Autism Awareness Day as like a challenge, question mark, for myself. And this is the 2nd year that I've released a pattern for that. I have obviously done other neurospicy kind of style patterns. I wrote a blog post about this, which has a link to all of those. Actually, no, I haven't posted it yet. So I'll make sure that that's up before I release this FlossTube. But there is going to be a post about this, and it'll have links to all of those patterns that are like related to this. So this is this pattern, to not go too much of a tangent, is because I know a lot of people are like me and have had a kid that is on the spectrum and done their research about what that means for their child and how they can help them, and then quickly realized that they can relate to a lot of those things in some aspect. Because yes, it is a spectrum. There is varying degrees of autism traits. I am one of those people. So to not go like too in depth, because I was going to talk about it in the IRL stuff, I am actually getting myself assessed for autism. I have to wait until January, unfortunately, because I couldn't get my butt into gear because I do have ADHD. And yeah, I didn't get my paperwork filled out in time to get the July spots, but that's okay. I'm not really in a hurry, but it is happening. And God, the paperwork was so difficult to get through. But anyway, that's my new pattern. You can get that on the website or on Etsy or Ko-fi, wherever you prefer to shop for patterns. The last thing that I forgot, even though it's right there in my notes, is that on the 1st of April, because yes, I did it on the 1st of April, is the anniversary of Two Little Kits starting. Two Little Kits is now 8 years old, and I still can't believe I started it on April Fool's Day. I didn't mean to. I don't even know how I managed to do that, but I completely forgot, even though it's in my calendar as like a recurring event. So I'm thinking today, once I finish recording, that I will, oh my God, I've spoken for so long, even though my eye is in so much pain. I might set something up on my website, like a shop discount or something, and do a belated celebration for my birthday. Two Little Kits' birthday. Anyway, that's everything. The last IRL thing that I wanted to talk about is my eye. Woke up on Saturday and my eye was kind of itchy, and then as Saturday progressed, it started swelling up. I started doing warm compress and everything that you're meant to do, and taking pain meds and everything. And then yesterday, which was Sunday, I was in a lot more pain, and it was itchy, as much more swollen as well. So I ummed and ahed about going to urgent care and just confirming what I could do for it. And I was like, no, but it's Easter. It's going to be so busy because Murphy's Law. So I didn't. And so I went today to urgent care because it took me half an hour to be able to open my eye to start with. And every time I move my eye or blink, it feels like it's scratching my eyeball. Love it. So the doctor at urgent care looked at it, and she's like asking me questions about what I've been doing to help it. I'm like, warm compress and pain meds, and I tried lubricating eye drops, and that just stung like crazy. I didn't do that again. And yeah, she's like, yeah, you're doing everything you can, but unfortunately it's the inside of your eyelid, so there's not a lot you can really do to help it pop on its own like you would normally for a stye. Because if it's on the waterline of your eyelid, they usually pop really fast, especially when you've been doing warm compress. But because I can't touch the head of the stye with a warm compress, it doesn't want to pop, basically. So I got given antibiotic eye drops, which I put one in before I started recording because I went and got them this morning. It helped so much already. It's still really painful to look around and to blink and stuff, but it's just uncomfortable now. It doesn't feel like it's scratching. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna record. So yeah, I was looking through my calendar and there was like nothing else that happened apart from Easter, and that was so chill and we didn't really do much at all, which is kind of our norm. The kids get chocolate and we just hang out. So yeah. But yeah, apart from Easter, nothing else has really been happening. So I'm gonna leave it there because that's a lot to edit. I don't know how I managed to talk for that long. I was gonna go and rest my eyes before I had to go get my kids, and it's already almost time to pick them up. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. I don't know when I'm gonna get this up, but obviously you're watching it, so it is up. My plan is to get it done for Tuesday, so tomorrow, but we'll see. I've done the recording bit. Yay. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment and like the video if you liked it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps me out so much. And I'm gonna go before I cough everywhere because apparently I need a drink. So until next time, I will see you on the internet. Bye.